Hello, I hope this finds you doing well today. I'm coming to you with the final installment of the Global Staff Life Cycle results. Today, we're going to look at regional results. And I'm sharing these not so much as a basis of comparison, but I think it's important for us as leaders who are in a global movement to understand that the circumstances of our ministry really vary from country to country and from region to region. So today I'm sharing these in the spirit that would show us there are parts of the world that are strong in different phases. And maybe we want to reach out to people in those regions to find out what they're doing. So let's take a look at the results and see what we have. We're going to start with Africa, and I'm only going to look at 3 pieces of data. The first is their overall, how did they do in each phase? And you can see the results here, fairly even across the board. There was a good number of responses from Africa, so mileage can vary. Leadership pipeline process, very consistent with other regions. Let me just say this, if at any time you want to just stop the video and take a look, Phil, I know you'll feel free to do that. Which phase is the strongest in Africa? 8 leaders rated development. 7 said recruiting. Now, if we look at what's the most challenging, 9 said recruiting and 6 said development. So when you have a wide range of leaders responding, you can see that kind of variance. Let's take a look at East Asia. Strong in onboarding, retirement. These are some of the higher scores that we've gotten with 4.0. Leadership pipeline process, consistent with the global results. Which phase is the strongest? Development. And they had very high reading actually for theological development and spiritual development. Which phase is the most challenging? Development, right? Let's look at Europe. Here we see onboarding, retirement. Those are the strong ones. Strongest, I should say, because some of the other scores are fairly strong as well. Leadership pipeline, consistent. This is the lowest category globally. And you see it consistent with that here. Which phase is the strongest? Onboarding or application, depending on who is answering the question. Which phase is the most challenging? Recruiting, very clearly. Latin America, from 2.8 to 3.8, very strong right there in the middle. Onboarding, development, and retention. Leadership pipeline process, consistent with the global result. Which phase is the strongest? Development and retention, by a good portion of the leaders who responded. Which phase is the most challenging? Retention and retirement. Interesting to look at that and go, how do we deal with when people are leaving? NAMESTAN, from 2.9 to 3.5, we have a closeness in a lot of the scores here. Let's see what the leadership pipeline looked like. It's a little stronger in some of the, but consistent with the global results in the 2, between 2 and 3. The phase that is the strongest, this was divided. Look at that, recruiting, onboarding, development. Which phase is the most challenging? Development. North America, Oceania, these are almost all stage 3 countries. And here you see onboarding is the strongest, and we're within a point, 2.8 to 3.7. Here's a leadership pipeline for North America, Oceania, consistent with the global results. The strongest phase is onboarding. The most challenging phase, development and retention. How do we keep people engaged? How do we develop them to be effective and growing? SESA, application is the highest here. We're a little bit offset. Yellow is onboarding. and the 3.6 would be recruiting. So those are the two highest. We have a lot of people coming in. I'm looking at that. The LPP, this region is a little bit stronger in the LPP. And there are a number of, here, they do practice terms for national team leaders, and that helps the preparation be a lot more proactive. The phase that's strongest is onboarding. The phase that's the most challenging is recruitment. So folks, I hope that this will give you a good idea of if you have friends across the region in LDHR and you want to talk to somebody about the results, please feel free to reach out to one another. I think this is one of the places where we can really network, national leader to national leader, or regional leader to regional leader. Let's see what we can do to help one another as we think about growing in excellence in our LDHR function. Let's make our staff experience the best it could be in light of what God has called us to do. Thank you so much for your leadership. I'm praying a blessing over you today, that you'll experience God's peace in the midst of whatever uncertain circumstances you're experiencing, and that his presence would be very real to you today. Thank you.